welcome back, everyone, to the WRMN Morning Show. We are your hosts, Susie C.
Good morning.
I'm Elliot Serrano, and we are joined in studio by the Chief Executive Officer and President of Anderson Humane, Dean Daubert. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Susie. Elliott, really appreciate you letting me come on again.
Absolutely.
Well, you were such a hit last time. We had to have you back. I mean, everybody loves Anderson Humane.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. We're going to celebrate our 60th anniversary starting in February. So 60 years serving the Fox Valley area in Kane County. Can you believe it?
That's crazy. That's a long time. A lot of places don't last that long, especially when you're being funded by the public and you're... Wow, good for you. Guys are doing something right.
Yes, we are 100% funded by the public and rely on those donations. Thanks for setting that up earlier, Elliot. We really appreciate that. And want to talk about today some of the programs that we have to keep pets in homes. So most people know us for our adoptions. We'll adopt out over 3,500 dogs, cats, kittens, and puppies this year, but they're not so familiar with the programs we have to keep pets in the home. And a big one right now is our food pantry.
And
nice.
For folks who may not be aware, I mean, a lot of folks know about the food pantries for people and families, right? You know, over Thanksgiving, right? Having food to feed your family, your kids. But yes, we have our pets are considered family as well. And some food pantries don't always carry pet food. Anderson Humane does have a pet food pantry. How does that work?
Yeah, people can come in during our adoption hours and talk to our adoption and resource counselors. And if they need food for their pets, they're not going to go home without it. It may not be what they feed; it's what we have, donated. But they'll go home with foods. We don't want anybody to have to surrender a pet because they can't afford to feed them.
And where do they go for this?
1000 South LaFox. That's our main location. And our adoptions every day is open at noon. On the weekends, we open at 11. And weekdays, we're there till 7. And then we're there till 5 or 6 on the weekends, depending on the day.
Perfect. Because if you can't feed yourself, you typically can't feed your pet either.
Or some people find they have to make a decision between, like the little money they have, they might decide just to buy pet food instead of buying food for themselves. Like on average, you say you give out what you have, but what is the one thing you find people need the most at the pet food pantry?
Dog food and cat food. That's more the 90% of our requests are for dog food and cat food.
So you don't get like someone say, I've got an iguana. I need a lot of reptile food.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of reptile food requests and that, but a lot of times it's dog food and cat food, and it's we have a very generous public. Being in the community for 60 years, people think about us when they have extra dog food, and they'll bring that over. And anything above and beyond what we need for our animals goes into that food pantry. As a matter of fact, not just us. We support Food for Greater Elgin and Fish and a couple of other pantries in the area as well.
Is there a particular brand that most people go with? I know you say you give what you have, but there are people, like let's say you could have the most popular brand that most people want. Which would be the one that benefits the pet food pantry the most?
Pedigree dog food.
Okay.
Pedigree. Anything from Mars brand of products will feed to our dogs, and then anything surplus will go to the public. We get a lot of like farmers dog because if that doesn't work out for folks, they let them donate that to a shelter, which is a great program. A lot of Chewy returns instead of having to return it.
Chewy's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that farmer's dog is pretty good, but I got it once for my dog, and she liked it for a week, and then she was like, meh, nah, not anymore. I'm like, seriously? This is gourmet food here. Come on.
Right. It's really good food, and what they do is they let you donate it if instead of returning it, because how do you return it? And then, of course, Petco and Pet Supplies Plus also donate food to us as well.
Good
very frequently, they'll do drives, and the public will do drives and donate food. So we want to make sure that goes and is used and goes to the public where they need that.
No,
that's awesome.
You guys just had a fundraiser this past weekend?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, we had our Carnival event down there up there in Barrington. At the San Filippo Mansion, and that was a really great dinner, and they have the carousel out, and they had the music boxes, and it's just a wonderful place. And if you've never been there, we'll have an opportunity to do some tours in the spring as another fundraiser coming up. I highly recommend it. If you've never been, it's really hard to describe. Go online and check it out. It's just beautiful.
I mentioned that because I went to the website and I saw you had a silent auction going, which apologies, folks, the silent auction just ended. It ended yesterday?
Closed last night.
Last night. Again, people are going, Elliot, There you go again. You tell. Apologies. I was just clicking through and go, this looks so cool. I really appreciate that. But still, that donate button still works, though.
The donate button does work, and cash is really helpful for us,
Right.
right? That's how we fund ourselves. We got about a $250,000 shortfall coming up next year. I'm confident that the public's going to help us
Oh, yeah.
fund that.
Yeah.
I'm confident it's there, but my math numbers, they show that we're going to have that shortfall. So we're looking forward to trying to bridge that gap this holiday season.
What are some of the things you have in place right now? You're thinking about with that gap. I mean, you have other fundraisers coming up. You have other programs that need support.
Yeah, some of our other programs. So another one designed to help keep pets in the home is our low-cost clinic. Okay, so this isn't for general medical stuff. It's for vaccinations, which if you it can be very expensive. They say that about 50% of people are skipping vet visits right now because the cost of veterinary care has gone up to 50% in the last 5 years. And so we have our low-cost clinic. You can see all those prices and packages online. And we have a sliding scale for that, which can be up to free for folks that show a financial need, thanks through a grant through the Milstein Foundation.
Now, is that for anyone, or are you looking at people?
Anybody can use that,
All
yes.
right. But I mean, I would guess if it's on a sliding scale, you're going to have a lot of folks looking for that program.
We are always full, so go online, send us an email. That's how you book into this program.
Okay.
It's going to take you probably a couple weeks to get in, to get your vaccinations or your spay and neuter. And we also do some dentals. That's booked out a little bit further out because that's a little more time consuming. But as you know, those dentals, at a regular vet can cost several $1,000s, depending on where you're going. And we'll do them for half that cost usually.
That's awesome. Yeah, because how many people, I'll do my dog's teeth next year, and then all of a sudden you're like, how much? How much? I had one of my fosters or one of my rescues. I took her. She had never went to the vet. I think they had to pull like 8 teeth. Like her teeth were black. Afterward, the few teeth she had left were so pretty, and she was just so happy. But yeah, that was quite a bill. But that was because I didn't have her all that time.
Right. And it good oral hygiene for your pets can really make a difference in their both, that cost as they get older, but also in the longevity of their life. Dental decay causes heart issues and, many physical ailments for them as well. That's why when we get animals in for adoption, our vets will check them out. And if they need a dental, we'll get them a dental before they go home. Sometimes, if we're scheduled out further, we might say, okay, come in on this date, post-adoption to do that dental. But it's just one of the services that we offer to try to keep those pets healthy in their home once they're adopted.
That's incredible. So what other stuff do you have coming up?
We have another one of our services that's we want to talk about is our STAR program, short-term animal refuge. Again, keeping pets in home. They say that up to 50% of folks that are victims of domestic violence will not leave their abuser due to having a pet, and you think about that, what do you threaten? What they love, right? So we have a program. You have to be working with one of our partner agencies like Lazarus House or Common Ground or one of the service providers that we work with. And if we feel like there's a good chance of getting out of that program, we'll put that animal into one of our foster homes. Okay, they have to find a foster. There's a lot of rules around the program because we want it to be successful. But when you see someone that's been a victim of domestic violence or unhoused, put the work in to get back on their feet, get back into an apartment, get back into a house, and then be reunited with their pet. You can't help but have tears in your eyes.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
such an
Absolutely.
amazing thing. And the stories that we tell about that, and then again the food pantry. We had a Afghanistan veteran who had some PSTD. Did I say that right? Yes,
PTSD.
PTSD. Call us to surrender his pets, right? And he has a family in the Fox Valley area here. I won't go into too much detail in case somebody knows him, but we were able to help him. We delivered the food. We don't do food deliveries usually, but for him, because of his special situation, we did. And this has been about 2 years now, and he's been able to keep those pets in his home with his family. Can you imagine if he didn't have that safety net, that he would have had to give up his pets, his family that love those dogs?
Or well, you tell your
Give 'em up.
kids,
Yeah.
sorry,
Feed you or feed the dogs, right?
And they don't understand.
So that's one of the programs. If not everybody needs this program, but by supporting them, you are affecting real people's lives. In the Fox Valley here, in King County, real people's lives, making a difference that really affects those like that's going to affect those kids for the rest of their lives.
Oh yeah.
It's an amazing,
And what's that
amazing thing.
program? STAR?
STAR program, short-term animal refuge.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of rules around it because, as you can imagine, that it can go wrong if it doesn't work out. But
Right.
we make sure that folks that enter that are largely
Well,
successful.
with any rescue, I mean, I do a rescue, and you have to fill out extensive paperwork because not only to cover yourselves, if you put the wrong animal in the wrong hands, but don't get along, you don't know the pet, that could be a lot of backlash from that. So it's always a big process, but it's for safety reasons and more.
Yeah, and some of those animals that are in the STAR program, they might go to 2 or 3 different fosters during the time that they're with us, because sometimes it's not just the 6 weeks that we hope. It's
Hmm.
up to 6 months sometimes to get back on their feet. But as long as they're moving towards that goal, we've got just a wonderful foster community in Elgin and around the surrounding areas that will willing to take those pets into their home, give them, they're not in a shelter, right? They're in a home, a loving
Hmm.
home that's caring for them like they were their own. As a foster, you
Hmm.
know the difference between
Oh
that
yeah.
foster work and being in a shelter, and it's an amazing group of people that we get to work with every day.
Oh, that's incredible. So
Mhm.
the STAR program and the pet food pantry. Are there other ways that people can donate? Can they create their own fundraisers? Can they?
Absolutely. Yeah, this is a great time of the year. If you're looking for, you can reach out to us and we can help you create a fundraiser. We can
Hmm.
send you QR codes, anything like that. But, birthdays, it's a great way to do a fundraiser. If you have a business and want to do a fundraiser that way, both supplies and cash is great for us because we'll use those supplies either for our animals or for our pet food pantry.
Hmm.
Paper towel is something that we always need.
Always.
Even your old towels, people don't think of that. We need towels to clean. That's what we use to clean
Hmm.
rags and towels, and then we'll wash them until we can't wash them anymore, and
Yep.
then we'll make sure they go into the recycling. But it's a wonderful thing to do a fundraiser for us,
Hmm.
and it really makes an impact, and it brings your folks together. Let us know that you're doing that fundraiser, and we'll have you up to the shelter. I'm always happy to give tours to folks that do something for
Hey,
us like
someone
that.
does a pretty big fundraiser. We can bring their kids on and go, "What'd you do? How'd you fundraise? What'd you make?" Like that would be, I would be absolutely. Ellie and I love having kids on and trying to promote them into
You
thinking
love
outside the
having
box.
kids on all the
Okay, I
time.
do. I bring them out, promote, show them something outside the box, and this could be a twofer.
Yeah, and it's a great way to give that lesson to those children that they're going
Hmm.
to, carry forward into their adult lives. And
Well, feel free to incentivize them by going, "Hey, if you do a fundraiser and you do good, you can be on the radio."
I will make that known for
Yes.
sure. Yes,
Great.
that's a great way to incentivize them to come on and raise some funds or bring some donations into
Hmm.
Anderson Humane. And this time of year, people are very generous. They're bringing us lots of
Hmm.
donations right now, and we're filling up the trailer out back so that we can carry that through the rest of the year as we have those
Yeah.
needs. So.
Got to think about like June, July, August when things are drying up because everybody's busy and not thinking about those things.
We're going back to the boxes in the back of the trailer to pull
Yep.
those cleaning supplies because it never ends, right? There's always a lot of cleaning to do at the shelter consistently. Those dogs walking them and all those things for the dogs and cats to keep them clean and going at the
Well,
shelter.
okay, so there's another question. Can people volunteer by you to walk, clean? What are some of the jobs that people can volunteer for?
If you have a skill, we have a need for it. Now, the most common ones, of course, are cats and dog
Hmm.
care, walking, feeding, cleaning our dogs and cats. What you do is you sign up online. You're going to go through, you're going to schedule yourself a training with one of our mentor volunteers.
Okay.
So we used to do it where our staff would train, but our staff is busy. They've got 10 to
Uh-huh.
15 dogs to care for. So we've set it up. We've got some really dedicated volunteers that come in and they spend the whole day with our new volunteers, teaching and training and making sure they got
Well,
the
and who
lay of the
knows
land.
better than the staff is one thing, but those mentors, the ones who are actually in there cleaning all that, they have the best hacks, the best tips, the best way to go about things. So that's very cool.
Yeah, it's amazing, and we just ask for a couple hours a month to come in and help with that. But we've got folks that come in and walk, every day. They some of them take the dogs out to the forest preserves
Wow.
for little walks around there. They'll spend hours with the cats, letting them in and out of their little condos, giving them enrichment. We have a whole team of volunteers that come in and feed twice a day. This is all they do. They feed. Well, they do more than that, but they feed twice. They track what the dogs or cats eat. They weigh it out. They make sure they're getting enough kcals. And if they don't eat, which is common because it's stressful
Mm-hmm.
in the shelter, they'll do different things to try to make sure they are eaten. And they also include enrichment with that time.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of just feeding in a bowl, they will feed in a box, a shoe box, and they'll let the dog tear apart the cardboard, which is fine. They're not going to choke on that.
Right,
or
right.
They're going to pass it, and that's very enriching for them to get that to them. And then they might wrap it in a bag, and they'll do different things to make sure that that's fun for the dog and gives them that extra stimulation
Right. That's
as feeding time.
incredible. So if you have a skill, even walking, right foot, left foot, they can use you. They can use you at Anderson. Sign up. How cool. Do you have any exotics right now or anything that you need?
In our foster program, so we don't do small animals and
Mm-hmm.
exotics in the shelter. We don't have a space for that.
Right.
But if someone wants to surrender, we just had a blue-tongued skink come
What
in
is
last
that?
week. It's about a 1-foot reptile. It's got a little blue tongue, as the name
Okay.
says, and
Okay.
requires some specialized care. So that would be a nice exotic animal that is in a foster home. So they applied to surrender them. I think somebody went to college. I might be getting that wrong. And then we found a foster that says, "Yeah, I will help out with that." And then they go up on our website and get adopted right without having to spend time in the shelter. So
Wow.
it's a really cool thing. So you can see we've got guinea pigs, rabbits,
See,
small
that's why I
animals
think
as
I was
well.
going like that too. So do you have a lot of guinea pigs?
We have a few, and they view them right on our website and see them. And if you're interested, you can.
Samantha Tees. Just saying.
You pushed those guinea pigs on her last time.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just doing it again. David Tees, if you love your wife, guinea pigs.
He's trying to get rid of her. He'll keep the guinea pigs.
Yeah.
The wife will go. The website, by the way, is ahconnects.org. That's AH for Anderson Humane. Connects, as in connects with the community.org. We're talking to Dean Dauber, Chief Executive Officer and President of Anderson Humane, who's been so kind to come in, talk about the different programs and needs of Anderson Humane. Okay, we've talked about the pet food pantry. We've talked about the STAR program. We've talked about the
The gala.
The gala. What else? I mean, what are things that you really want to know going into the holidays that people know that's going on at Anderson Humane?
So one of the things I like to talk about is adoptions this time of the year, right? Because you'll hear different things. Oh, you shouldn't give pets as gifts, right?
Mhm.
And in general, that can be an okay thing, right?
Mhm.
So I'm not talking about buying your buddy who you barely know, going and adopting a cat for them and giving it to them. What I'm talking about is for kids. It's a great time to adopt that animal and bring it into your home. You got a little time off during the holidays to get them
Mhm.
acclimated to the house. Um, you know, uh, Cats for people you adopt. So we don't say necessarily no to
Right.
those gifts. There's always an individual situation, and a lot of
It's
times
like buying ducklings on Easter for people who don't live in the country. You don't buy
don't do
ducklings.
that.
But if your children are ready to be responsible for a dog or a cat, that's a whole different story.
Absolutely. And this time of the year is a great time to adopt, bring them home for the holidays. What a better way to enhance your life and enhance, your kids and your family's life by
Mhm.
having a pet in the house. And we have kittens and cats and puppies and dogs and everything in the shelter just waiting to be adopted right now. It's a busy time of the year for us, and this is when our adoptions kind of peak for the year. But they've been on nationally. Some of the adoptions have been holding flat for the last couple of years
Okay.
since the pandemic, and we'd love to see that go the opposite way.
Mhm.
Because the more animals that we adopt out, the more animals that we can take in, the more lives that the community can save.
Yeah. That's amazing. So if you got a couple extra dollars, 2, 3, skip a coffee. I always say, skip a coffee, one coffee, and donate it. If everybody skipped one coffee a month and donated, what a difference that would make.
It would make a huge difference. It makes a
Mhm.
difference to the animals, such a difference to the animals. That is our biggest stressor in the shelter is how we're going to fund, all those spay and neuters that we do, all the medical care that we give
Mhm.
the animals before they leave. And, it does take some staff to do those adoptions. And, that's We try to do everything on a shoestring budget, but that's our biggest expense is that staff cost.
Yeah, there you go.
Again, folks,
Skip a coffee.
Right. If you want to go to ahconnects.org, ahconnects.org, click on the part at the very top where it says donate. You can set up to give a donation one time or on a monthly basis. And you can pick the amount that you want to do. You can do that automatically. It even gives you a little option there to dedicate the donation to somebody else. Great thing to do over the holidays. Make a donation to Anderson Humane in memory or in honor of a loved one, a pet. Do a lot of folks do that in honor of pets?
Yeah, a lot of folks, as their pets pass or something that they adopted or had years ago, they'll do it in memory of the folks. And it's a great way to memorialize people as well.
Yeah. Or if you have, your parents at this age where you're like, they have everything they want. They go out and buy it. They don't need to wait for a gift. You know what? Gift out what you were going to spend on them to the shelter and say, hey, you know what, Mom, you have everything you possibly could ever want. So instead, I donated X amount of dollars to the shelter in your name.
What was that amount you said that you were considering doing?
$250,000.
$250,000.
Yeah.
Divided by the 1.15 million households we have around the radio station reaches. Okay, seriously, $250,000. If 100,000, the number of people who listen to this radio station or are in the Fox River Valley gave a $25 donation,
make the world of difference.
It would be tremendous.
It would be life changing for the shelter. It really would.
Again, we're not asking for a tremendous amount. Again, many hands make the load lighter, as they say.
Yep. Skip a coffee, donate. Go do some time if you've got something that, you want to go help.
You make it sound like you're in jail or something. I got to do some time.
Go do some time and then play with dogs and clean up after cats. And, instead of sitting, you're like, I'm bored. What am I going to do? I got a place.
Okay, so I have, before you go ahead, one question, because I did a tour of the facility and you showed me all the stuff. Like, your volunteers do everything there.
They really do, yes.
Are they letting you run the snowblower?
I don't get to touch the equipment. Brian and Justin, they're the facility folks there. Do not let me touch anything that's mechanical or could break. And I have one thing for your question of the day.
Please.
Yes.
Have you ever heard dogs called yard sharks?
Oh!
No.
It's going to be your new favorite, yard shark.
Your dog is a yard shark. She looks for the fart kitties.
Yeah. That sounds like a cartoon, a Saturday morning cartoon. Yard sharks.
It does. I love it. Love it.
Thanks, Dean.
Yeah,
thank you so much. I really appreciate you highlighting Anderson Humane.
We'll have you
guys are the
back
best.
on again.
You're welcome to come anytime you want. Something's going on, something you want to promote. Please, by all means, let us know.
Text me,
will.
flyers, whatever you need.
All right. And again, that's been Dean Daubert of Anderson Humane. You've been listening to the WRMN Morning Show with Susie C. and me. Really appreciate you being with us today. Matt McNeil's coming up next. Remember, you've got one life. Make the most of it. But above all,
Be kind.